right, gang, it is day 3 here at Gen Con 2019, and I have the distinct pleasure of meeting for the first time with Shane Ivey and Dennis Detwiller, who are with Art Dream Publishing. And of course, if you think of Art Dream, you think Delta Green. So thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining me today.
It's good to meet you.
Let's talk Delta Green, because I have been playing Call of Cthulhu since it originally came out in the 1-inch box from Chaosium. Mm-hmm. I had the original release of Delta Green, which came out as kind of like a supplement.
Right.
But things have changed. Things have really exploded for Delta Green over the past couple of years.
Right.
So let's chat a little bit, because Delta Green is now a standalone game. It's not necessarily a supplement for Chaosium.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly right. And we started this process, I don't know, years and years ago. We'd been publishing Delta Green for a long time, having a great time doing it. We got to a point where we just started to feel a little constrained by because there were certain ways we run Call of Cthulhu when we're running Delta Green that are not exactly the same as Call of Cthulhu as written. So we kind of reached a point where we were all talking together and said, we really just need to do this thing from scratch, and bring it into one set of rules that does what it's supposed to do and plays the way that we play Delta Green. That's how it all started. And so because Delta Green has an amazing fan base, that we have people that have been with us for 25 years, and then every year,
Dennis?
Yeah, and me. And every year we have new people coming in, right? So we have a terrific fan base that as soon as we went to Kickstarter with the game that we'd been developing for several years by that point, they were all over it. So it was hugely gratifying.
You had a very, very successful Kickstarter, yes.
It absolutely exceeded all of our expectations. It was fantastic.
And for folks out there, if you're not in the know, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Delta Green is a modern setting, whereas most people think of the 20s for Call of Cthulhu. This is a modern setting. It has a lot of conspiracy. It's got different shadowy organizations, kind of like the real world.
Yeah.
And one thing I'll ask Dennis is, what drew you to this system?
Well, John Tynes drew me to the system. He was my roommate, and he said, well, I have this great idea. Like, how we're always losing characters in these games into Cthulhu, they're getting eaten, and it's hard to find another character. What if the government was just sending people in?
Exactly.
And I went, oh, man.
We got more cannon fodder.
That's a great idea, yeah. So it all kind of grew from there. So, but what I love about Delta Green is it's about human failure. And people really seem to be drawn to playing in the monster movie where they may or may not make it out.
Right.
And there's a great draw there that just seems to defy a lot of expectations of what you might think people really enjoy role-playing. Because people get bored of always killing the monster, getting the gold, leveling up.
And everything has to have a challenge level that matches up to them.
Right. So sometimes they want unfair challenges, and they want it.
That's old school.
They want to feel clever getting around them, and and if they die trying, at least it's a funny, cool story.
Right.
So that's what I love about it.
I tell people all the time, my best friend, who's been gaming with me since 1980, can't tell you what he had for lunch yesterday, but he can tell you what happened in a Call of Cthulhu game that I ran when we were in high school.
Yeah, totally.
Right.
You remember them.
Stories made.
The great thing about Call of Cthulhu, about Delta Green, the horror games that we thrive on, is even if it's a total disaster for your characters, it's likely to be memorable.
Yeah. Right.
And if your characters overcome all the odds and triumph, then that's a real triumph, and that's even more memorable.
Right.
So it's a blast to play, and working in the modern day and working in conspiracies, and there's to this day there's no shortage of interest in all the ways that things can go wrong misusing government authority.
Sure. Or lack of government oversight.
Yes. Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's a field that has yet to go fallow on us.
So as far as the core releases, we've got the Agent's Handbook, we've got the Handler's Guide, so it's kind of like the Player's Handbook, Game Master's Guide.
Yeah.
You've got Control Group, I believe, just came out, and that's like an adventure compendium, correct?
Yeah, that's right. It's a Control Group is a collection of scenarios that are built to let you bring in new players, let them bring in brand new characters in several scenarios, and then as they go along, the survivors of the previous scenarios could come together for the final one as a Delta Green team proper, and then you can spin off your campaign from there. So it turned out really, really good, and it's fun to see. And we got plenty of other adventures and things out there.
Right, I know you've got a lot of things in the pipeline.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we've got two manuscripts that are finished and going into editing as soon as we get home and recuperate from Gen Con. So yeah, there's a lot of material we're developing, and it's going to be great.
Yep, exciting.
One other item I do want to talk about is the King in Yellow, because I have to say, and we've reviewed it, and guess what, gang? You're going to see a whole bunch of Delta Green products coming to the Daily Dope, so stay tuned. But we did a review of the King in Yellow that's just gorgeous.
The annotated King in Yellow, yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
great. Yeah,
It was that was a dream project for us. I loved everything about that book. Getting Ken Hite to work on it. Sam Mariah is just a genius artist who has done art for us for a decade or more. And putting those guys together, it was just a no-brainer. And no one had really paid much attention to the King in Yellow. People like to talk about it.
Right.
They don't read the stories.
Right.
They don't.
Right.
And it's all
referred
just there.
to all the time.
It's all there.
Yeah.
And it's gorgeous stuff. Even the writing from 1895 still kicks me in the teeth. It's so good.
Yeah. And Ken did a fantastic job kind of exploring what were the roots of these stories.
Yeah.
And how do they relate to each other, and how do they relate to Robert Chambers' other work, He kind of made his bones not on spooky horror, right, but on romances. And so there's these threads that connect all the stories in that book, The King in Yellow, his story collection, that are hard to see from our perspective all these years later. So Ken did an amazing job.
Ken does great work all the time, regardless who he's working for.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's why we keep hiring.
Fellow Chicagoan too, so
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So we're really proud how that came out. It's gorgeous.
Yeah,
it really is, and the artwork is beautiful and a little unnerving at the same time.
That should be the goal.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Sam Mariah is just an uber talent.
Yes.
He's just a great guy, really all around, down to earth, but just an amazing painter. So love his stuff.
And I should also point out that everything we've talked about is not only available physically from the Art Dream Publishing website, you could also get it from our friends over at Drive Thru RPG.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. We love Drive Thru as well. If you want to give Delta Green a spin, I'll mention Need to Know is up there, and it's pay what you want. It's an entire adventure, 6 agents, and all the rules. Yeah. So if you want to sit down with your friends and give Delta Green is this the game for me? Just check it out.
Yeah.
What if Scully and Mulder actually really went up against really bad things?
Yeah. They had very bad habits as investigators.
Right. It would be dead.
It would be rough.
Yeah. I often pitched Delta Green in the 90s as it's the X-Files, except every episode it's 2 new agents going, what happened to the last 2 agents?
Right.
That's it.
Gentlemen, any final thoughts you'd like to share about Delta Green or Art Dream?
Every game that we publish, every book that we publish in print, you can get the PDF for free. There's instructions in the books themselves that you can do that, whether it's at a store, from us, anywhere you get it. You can get our stuff at Amazon, at your favorite stores. Tell them to reach out and reach out to us.
Demand your Art Dream.
Right, yeah. Or you can come straight to us or find us on Kickstarter. We are on there often.
Yep.
So
I'll just say, check out the Delta Green Patreon. Just search for Delta Green on Patreon and you'll be able to find it. $1 down gets you access to, 2 years of content now. You get early access to all the manuscripts. People love it. We just have a great following there. And we get great feedback and changes the products. So, the fan, if you're a big fan and you want to connect with the creators, we talk there all the time. So
wonderful.
Yeah, and we're looking at launching the revitalizing the Unspeakable Oath as a Patreon thing as well. So
that was an awesome magazine. I used to get that all the time.
Yeah. We relaunched it in partnership with Pagan Publishing. I think in late 2010. So we put out about 7 or 8 issues after.
It's
that.
like an annual.
Yeah.
And so our last one came out last year about this time. So we're going to be relaunching that this fall as a Patreon, and then we'll use that kind of start producing new material for Call of Cthulhu through the magazine from all kinds of creators, authors, artists. We want to use it as a way to sort of highlight our authors, the creators that we love already, and newcomers who are just exploring the field. Yeah.
Wonderful. Dennis.
Oh, thank you.
Shane, thank you so
Jeff.
much for taking some time out. It's super busy, as always, here at Gen Con, so
yes.
I appreciate you taking time out.
No problem at all.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
See you guys later.
Enjoy the show.
Everyone.
If you're ready for some more fun and you'd like to check out the latest episode of The Daily Dope, my live Monday through Friday show that airs at 7 p.m. Central right here on YouTube, click right here. And if you'd like to roll the dice and push your luck and see a randomly selected video from the channel, click right here. You pays your money, you takes your chances. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer, and thank you for watching.